All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this call. It's so nice for me to be on this call with all of you. So big congratulations for being on this call. My name is Vincent van der Linde, and I'm going to be, well, I, for one, am very excited about this call. We are going to be discussing a few points. And firstly, I want to say well done and to everybody that has engaged in the success. Oh, sorry, the next incentive already. If you've really drawn up a new list of names, if you've really nailed it and started properly, I want to say well done. Well done for being proactive and getting started on that. It is going to be an experience that you do not want to miss. If you can go in next year to the Manifest event and to go and check out Dallas, Texas, and the live and the labs and so on, and Mannatech HQ, you do not want to miss that. That is something you have to go and experience if you're part of this. If you really want to. You get a peep into Mannatech as a company in a different way. And so I really want to say go for it. It's going to be worth your while to nail it. Okay, so um oh dear, the meeting is at capacity. Okay, unfortunately, I won't be able to change that now. So we're gonna have a recording and we will publish the recording and the people that are not on the call will unfortunately just have to view the recording right after this. But it will probably only be about 45 minutes or less, so it should all work out fine. Okay. So let's quickly jump into this call and not waste any more time. I'm very much looking forward to everything that's going to be shared on this call. The purpose of this call is to share with you some information that is getting results in people's businesses. And the people that are applying this are, I mean, it is very, very exciting to know. Yeah, no, so let me put it this way. There are many ways to build this type of business, right? I mean, this business is not new. Network marketing has been around for, since the 70s, basically, the late 70s, or it's been producing a lot of new millionaires in the marketplace since the late 70s. It's been one of the top ways to become a brand new millionaire in the marketplace through this vehicle. Okay. And it's been like that for years. I mean, we're talking 50 years. The last 50 years, this has been a proven model where anybody, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what your background is, your education, where you come from, belief, race, creed, culture, none of that stuff matters because here it's a level playing field and all you need is a dream and a drive and everything else will be shown to you. And this is what makes this, as the Americans say, the true American dream, or we just like to say, it doesn't matter who you are, you can create freedom, you can create that dream life for yourself. And that is very, very exciting. It doesn't matter which family you're born from. If you were born 500 years ago, that was a different story, or 1,000 years ago. If you weren't born from the right family or you weren't born in nobility, you were born a peasant. I mean, think about it. Your chance of really creating freedom for yourself is very little. That's not the case today, is it? Today, it is a very exciting time to be alive because you can create freedom, absolute freedom for yourself through a vehicle like this. I think that is very, very exciting. So there are many ways to build this type of business, but in the last 50 years of new millionaires being created, obviously there have been tried and tested ways, people that have had trial and error and failed and learned from their mistakes and developed a few ways, a few methods that actually work. Okay. So you can build this business in a way where you just share information one by one and sign up somebody every now and then and speak to somebody every once a week or every now and then when you feel like it. Or you can experience what this type of business has to offer and you can do it a different way. And that is what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm going to talk to you and give you a game plan that has proven itself over and over again. And it's not something new, it's just the same thing. But we need to all hear this again and again. We need to see this with fresh eyes. We need to renew our mind when we look at this information and get excited all over again about the prospect of creating freedom and how you can do it in this vehicle, with this vehicle. You just have to perhaps change your perception a bit. You just have to perhaps change your commitment level a bit. So we're going to be discussing that this evening. So I'm going to share a little bit of information. I'm going to keep it really basic, no fancy presentations and things. We're going to be doing mostly talking. and explaining. So you guys want to maybe take some notes. But before we get into the meat of it, I've asked a couple that has really performed. They're one of our top performers in the world of Mannatech, not just in South Africa, but the world of Mannatech. They have made their mark. You know, Steve Jobs said when he convinced Scully from Pepsi Cola to come over and work for Apple, he basically said to him, "Listen, do you want to sell sugared water for the rest of your life? Or do you want to come join us and make a dent in the universe?" Now, I can tell you categorically that these people have already made a dent in the universe. And I think they are very much on that path of leaving their mark on the world and leaving this world better than they found it. So I want to welcome onto this call to talk to us a little bit about what they've done and experienced. And now that I think about it, yeah, a little bit about what they've done and experienced in this business. And they've had recent success. They've been top enroller for the last, I think it's 3 years in Mannatech. You guys can just correct me if I'm wrong there. They've won many awards in the business. They are, I mean, you guys know them. Everybody on this call knows them. They're such a couple that I look up to, and I've come to really respect over the last few years for their integrity, their work ethic, their stickability, their ability to work with people and encourage people and inspire them. And not only that, but their passion, their absolute passion in seeing people's lives improve. So with that, please welcome onto the call bronze presidential directors, Heike and Geraldine Berg.
There we go. Thank you, Vince. Good evening, everyone. It is so much fun to be on this call. I do believe that this is one of the best things, that if you sign up for this, then you are going to be or achieve massive success from this business. And so what I want to share just quickly about our achievements is we actually stood at the May Success Summit, and Vincent van der Linde said to us, "So what is your next goal for the next one?" And my husband, as crazy as he can be sometimes, he just said, "Well, Vince, we are bringing 100 new people." And so we went home and we actually sat with that thought, or with that idea. And it comes from a place where financially last year, we really had a really, really good year because of Mannatech. We've come to a place where our debt has been paid off, our bond has been paid off. We've got massive investment and
massive investments,
massive investment portfolios, which we didn't have, coming from where I come from, where I had nothing. And so we really were creating freedom for ourselves. And so I think when we sat down with one another, our question was, okay, well, we've achieved it for us. We obviously have our main focus where we want to get to with this opportunity, but we've created so much for ourselves. What is our next plan? And so our why shifted to people. And so last week at the Bedford View information session, I actually just spoke about the dream session and created awareness on what the reality is of people currently. And so the basic or the average income at the moment is anything between 15 and 18,000 Rand per individual. And the four biggest things that a person needs to cover per month is a medical aid, which could be anything from 600 Rand to 1,500 if you're an individual. Your rental for a 1 or 2 department place in Johannesburg, anything between 6,000 and 8,000 Rand. And then your vehicle repayment is anything between 2,000 to 4,000 Rand. And then obviously your vehicle insurance can be anything from 800 to 2,000 Rand. So looking at where your money needs to go to, we've now more than ever realized that people are just surviving. And that for us is sad, because I strongly believe, and I will speak it till my last days, that we have got so much more potential to make an impact, like Vince has said, just purely to survive at the moment. And so we sat with our upline leaders from the previous event. We planned, we brainstormed, we went back and forth with the game plan. It's been approved, it's been adjusted, and this game plan really comes from upline leaders that has been in the game much longer than we have been in the game. And so the game plan was drafted for a person that's going to build this business part-time, but actually make a success. And one thing that I want to honor my husband with, the one thing that he kept on saying to me when I started Mannatech is he said to me, don't just stalk a good game. Show me a good game. So the action is required. And so we came to a place with our business where we decided that, but you can be successful in 90 days. You can build executive director in 90 days, but it's going to require you to be focused. It's going to require consistently working at your business every day. And it's not massive work. It's 2 exposures every single day to create that funnel of leads that potentially becomes prospects, that becomes customers and associates. And so I think just the key message as I hand over to Heikki is from my side, your game plan is the most important thing. We are already busy with our game plan for the next super regionals. And so our game plan now has been extended to our team. Our team is with us, busy inviting people to get to the Success Summit. What bigger reason not to have 10 or more guests at the Success Summit with our brand new CEO, Landon Frederick. He actually phoned us last week, Tuesday, from America to congratulate us on our record that we broke with customers. And knowing that your CEO makes that effort to connect with his associates in his business, he's coming to South Africa. And what bigger reason not to bring anyone in South Africa to this event if we are literally launching those products at the back. So I cannot wait to start to use mine, but a brand new product is being launched in South Africa. And so 2 massive reasons to promote big time. And so if you promote the Lumi skincare and you start now and you work with your upline, it can really create a lot of new volume and pins in your in your business. And so lastly, the game plan is working. We've seen new pins in the first month with our organization. People are massively excited. It's a doable game plan for any person that's doing this business part-time. Be with your upline, check your game plan, and take action.
Thanks, Barry. And I just want to honor you and say thank you just for being so incredible and really just, always keeping the vision fresh and the motivation and the support. And you're just incredible. So I quickly just want to run through a bunch of numbers with you guys, because one thing you need to understand with network marketing is you need to understand the numbers. If you do not understand the numbers and the law of averages and those things, you always kind of struggle. And this has to go into the game plan. And so just kind of very basic when I talk about the numbers. So the idea is in the next 3 months, when you sign somebody up or even yourself, to go ED in the first 3 months. Why? Because your business will be worth R1 million. It would be like having an asset of R1 million, paying you 5, 6, even 10. It could be more. It could be 8,000, 9,000 Rand a month. It just depends obviously on the structure. So here's how it works, right? So any network marketer that is worth his salt, if you're brand new, for example, you don't have to start where Geraldine and I have started. I and Geraldine have built up it took us years to build rapport with people on social media and, building a brand and stuff. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be that person. And I really want to make it very clear to you, because there's people out there that do a lot better than us, across the world in the network marketing field. People that have no social media thing. The reason why social media is important is because you build connection, right? But imagine you've got no social media. Okay. Any network marketer that is worth his salt will show or should show at least 2 exposures a day. Okay. When people say the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is successful people work 2 hours a day on their dreams. That's what it means, right? Anybody can find 2 hours a day if this is important to you. So here's how it works. If you take 3 months, right, and you show 2 exposures a day, only 5 days a week, right? So leave Saturday and Sunday. But Monday to Friday, you make sure that 2 people see the opportunity, right? You speak to 2 people and you present people with this opportunity. Okay. If you do that over 3 months, right? I wrote it here because my brain goes, it's 60 days that you're going to be that you're spending 2 hours a day on people. But you're going to show 120 exposures, right? Because it's 2 people a day, it's 120 exposures. Now, if you sign up only 20% of those, so that's the minimum. That's like 2 out of 10, right? And you're doing this with your upline. We still work with Vince. We speak to them on a weekly basis. We speak to Brecht and Sebastian. We cannot do this without our upline. I need you to understand this. There are PDs and gold EDs and people here that just don't work with their upline anymore, right? You cannot do this without your upline. So you're going to show 120 plans. Now, from 120 plans, if you sign up only 20, like that's the worst of the worst, signing up 20, that's the minimum. If you don't sign up 2 out of 10, there's something wrong. Then you're not working with your upline. That's 24 people that you would have signed up in 3 months. Now, let's break it down. That's 8 people a month. Okay. Now, if you sign up 8 people in your first month, okay, your job is to create only 2 directors. That's the easiest way. 2 directors of those 8 people in 3 months. Do you know how simple that is? That means at the end of 3 months, 2 of those 8 people there have to be director. That's 3,000 PV in your business. Now, considering that each person that you've signed up has 100 PV or more, okay? So if you sign up 24 people, that's 2,400 PV that you have signed up over 3 months. Now, if you sign up 8 people in the beginning and you help only 2 people go director over 3 months, right? That is already 3,000 PV in your business. In your second month, all you need to do is help 2 people get their 500 PPV. So you get 2 pots full of 500 PV, 500 PV, and you add that to the 3,000 at the end of the 3 months. Now you're with 4,000, and the rest of the PV of everybody else at the 8 people that you sign up on the 3rd month will equal 6,000 PV. It is so simple. Now, that's the numbers, right? It's so simple. The trick comes in is that you cannot just sign somebody up and leave him. That's what most people do. They sign people up and they tell them what to do. When you tell somebody what to do, they're not going to do it. You share with them, here's the first steps, and here's this, and here's this, and here's this, and you just assume people are going to work. They're not going to work. You need to take them by the hand, and I think Vince can speak about it and speak to your upline. How do you get that person going? That's also, it's very important. But it is so doable for anybody. If you're dead honest with yourself, most people do not work hard in network marketing. They think they do, but they don't. Okay. You've got to work hard and show, and working hard is what? 2 exposures a day for 3 months, and you can do it. And that's the numbers. Once you understand it, you can do it.
Fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. There you have it. So now they have given a great, a bit of a, well, I mean, they've really been practical about that, which I'm very appreciative of. Thank you guys for being practical about the game plan and how you can actually go ahead and create yourself into a millionaire over the next few months. So once again, this call is for you, for the new person who is embarking on this and wants to nail it, right, over the next 3 months. So what I'm going to share with you guys, and now I actually hope this comes out nicely so that you guys can see it, because okay, if you guys can for some reason not see the presentation, just let me know. Hang on. Okay, so basically I'm just going to share a few key points. And wait, hang on. Okay, so as Heike and Geraldine said, the concept here is, well, it's a principle in the industry called compression of time frames. So basically what you want to do is you want to have, instead of talking to 100 people over the next year or 100 people over the next 2 years, which is what most people unfortunately do in this industry, you're going to go and talk to a bunch of people, let's say 100 people over the next month. Okay. So that's the concept, is break it down, compression of time frames, and you're basically going to be doing what you would have done in a in a year, you're going to do that in 1 month or in 3 months. All right. So, okay, you guys should see what I want to share with you guys now. Hang on. Okay, I hope it shows properly. If it doesn't show, if you guys can't follow, does it skip through the slides? Let me know if it doesn't skip through the slides, and we'll just share it a different way. But anyway, so the idea is freedom in 18 months, and you can do that by, okay, so the points, I'm going to talk about the points, the timeline, how you can actually, the example here is on 20 new associates. So, so when Heike and Geraldine spoke about masterminding, they had a great masterminding session with their uplines. I mean, Yolandi and I were involved, and Leonie was involved, and Brach and Sebastian were involved, and they really sat down and they took the time to mastermind with their upline, as all the great leaders in this business have done. Every time they want to start a blitz and focus on creating movement and creating momentum, they basically sit down and they first plan, so you don't just wing it, you plan and you strategize and you say, how am I going to do this properly? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to launch, okay? We're going to launch our business, which means we're going to launch a bunch of new people that are fired up, excited, passionate about what they can do over the next 90 days. And we're going to launch this business. Now, I want you guys to take that for yourself this evening. You are going to, if you take this for yourself, you are going to launch your business at the next super regional event. Oh, sorry, not super regional, Success Summit. At the next Success Summit event, you are going to launch your event. And what is that going to look like? Well, it's basically going to be, this is what I suggest you do. There's this brand new product being launched, Luminovation, okay? As people fondly call it, Lumi, which I think is going to stick. I think that's already sticking. But Luminovation is the new skincare, and it is phenomenal. The people that have tested it are raving about it, and the skincare specialists are raving about it. And it's going to be a very, very, very exciting launch. Now, this is what I want to suggest you do. You need to use that, because Luminovation is just going to launch once, right? Here we go. What an opportunity. Now, we are literally basically a month away, about a month away. We're a month away from the Success Summit. It is the perfect time for you to launch your business at the Success Summit. So what that means is you need to work with a plan from now until the Success Summit, and you need to set a goal for yourself. Now, I've put on the screen there to have a goal of, let's say, 20 people at the Success Summit, 20 guests, okay? So that's why it says target group 20 new associates. Now, you can do more than that. You can do less than that, obviously, as well. I mean, I know some of you, part of your game plan as you started in September, part of your game plan was to actually bring 10 new guests that are going to be your associates at the Success Summit. And that's great. That's part of your game plan. But maybe you want to make it 20, maybe you want to make it 30, depending on who you are and how long you've been part of this business on the call. So create a target group for yourself that you want to have, let's say, 20 associates at the Success Summit. All right. So on the day that between Johannesburg and Cape Town combined, you can have 20 brand new associates that join you. So to have that, you're probably going to have 20 associates join you on this journey. You're probably going to have 40 people in the room. Okay. That's just how it is. I mean, the Success Summit is one of the best prospecting tools you have. Your numbers of prospecting, if you do it correctly, and if they stay the whole day, ideally, you can expect to sign up 40 to 50, between 40 and 60% of the people that are there, you can expect to actually sign up in your business as new associates, because that event is going to be cooking. Our CEO is going to be there. He's going to cast the vision of the company. You're going to have a new product launch. It is going to be an event like this is going to be one of the most exciting Success Summits that we've ever had. So that's why it's important not to let this opportunity go by. Have 20 people start with you on the 1st of December, right? 1st of December, brilliant time to start. Remember, December is a great time to be doing this business because people are together. And once again, we're in the middle of the incentive. So it's a perfect time. December, January are going to be key months for you to be focusing on big activity and getting people launched and started if you want to come with us to Dallas, Texas. So that's going to be very important. That's why I'm saying start it on the 1st of December and focus. Okay, so 20 new associates that are going to start with you on the 1st of December. It means you have to have about 40 people, 40 guests in the room. If you want 10 associates to start this journey with you on the 1st of December, you're going to have 20 people, 20 guests that stay the whole day, ideally, in the room with you. Now, that's where your work comes in, obviously. Is that going to be easy? It depends. It depends what your easy is. I can tell you now it's going to take focus, meaning you can't just give up when people say, give some little excuse like my cat has to go to the vet on that day or whatever. Come on. This is freedom we're talking about. This is making a dent in the universe. We're talking about something that is going to be groundbreaking, life-changing, revolutionary. You got to put everything off on that day. Get married on another weekend. That's how important it is. You know what I mean? So you gotta promote it. And if you want any tips, there's a great audio on Lead Team called How to Promote Your Business, Promoting Your Business, under the basic section, which talks about that, the difference between just announcing your business and promoting it. Beautiful, beautiful advice there. Make sure you listen to that. And along with all the other basic audios on there, like how to do a good one-on-one and how to conduct a proper home meeting, and some of the points we'll cover now as well. So get into that stuff. It's gold for you as you get started as a brand new person. So let's run with this. Your target group is, let's say, 20 associates. You want to have 40 guests in the room, or 10 associates. You want to have 20 in the room. Okay. If we look at the pre-checklist, now this is what I would suggest you do before the 1st of December with all of those people. This is going to be vital. So you're going to use the Success Summit as your greatest prospecting tool. You're going to aim to have, let's say, 10 people sign up with you and get started. That means you're going to have 20 guests in the room, and you are going to launch this thing on the 1st of December. So on the 1st of December, everybody's going to be working a game plan together. And the goal is to, within 90 days, create brand new executive directors, because an executive director earns the same sort of passive income stream that a millionaire would earn. Somebody who's got R1 million asset, a house that's R1 million, R1 million on fixed deposit, you're earning the same sort of income as somebody who's got R1 million invested. That's why the title is the 90-Day Millionaire. You can do this in 90 days. You can create a number of new millionaires in 90 days. How exciting? Isn't that worth coming to an event? Isn't that worth coming to see at least what is meant by, hey, you want to become a millionaire in 90 days? Come and check out our Success Summit happening in November. CEO of this company, we've identified this vehicle that is perfect for becoming a brand new millionaire. Come and check it out in November. Isn't that exciting? Don't you think somebody would come and attend? I would attend. If you phoned me and I knew you and I liked you and I trusted you, I would come and I would attend. I would be there in the room. I would spend 400 Rand or 500 Rand. I would spend more than that probably, but I would spend 500 Rand to be in that room with you for sure. If you're going to show me how I can become a millionaire over the next 90 days and create an asset online, I'll be there. So these are the things, the pre-checklist. You want to make sure that the people have a proper associate orientation. So they've signed up, they've got their Mannatech account number. You go through those 10 points that our 2-star platinum upline so eloquently has gone through. So Leonie van der Linde has spoken about the 10 points. You can find those on the website, 3pointplan.net. She runs through this little video. You can just play and pause and complete those 10 steps. And in there is, you need to download some apps. You need to make sure your Success Summit ticket is in your hand. Your starter book is in your hand. You're starting off properly. You're not just winging this thing. You're actually ticking the boxes, starting properly. This is vital. Okay, if you're going to give this thing a proper go, this is a non-negotiable. You got to do this. Make sure you've done the associate orientation with all of those people that have started with you before the 1st of December starts. Make sure that they've drawn up a names list of at least 150 people, because 150 people is 90 days of work. So make sure there's a list of names for each of those 10 people that's drawn out, written down is ideal, or on a spreadsheet if they're used to spreadsheets. If they're used to showing up on a spreadsheet every day, spreadsheets are fine. But I find people that are not used to showing up on spreadsheets every day, they never look at spreadsheets. So rather get a little book or an old school address black book or whatever you want to use, but write it down. Do something that they're familiar with if they go and check that list, carry it with them, work with it on a daily basis. Okay, so names list. Make sure you've got 150 names on the list. Make sure that they've attended at least one welcome call on a Sunday night. That welcome call that I do on a Sunday night is designed for brand new people to help them and show them and tell them what's next. So make sure they've done these things before the 1st of December starts. Because when the 1st of December starts, that is launch date, right? I mean, that is when everybody's going to go into work mode. And what does that mean? What is work mode? Okay, so just checking if I've missed anything here. Yeah, let's look at month number 1. Building a strong foundation. The goal is at least 2,000 DPV with an income of more than 4,000 Rand. Now, why is this important? I am so chuffed that I nailed this business. You know, some of you know my story and some of you don't, but I'm not going to tell it now. But I didn't actually do anything for the first 90 days because I was skeptical and I checked everything out and I wasted time. I actually wasted 90 days. I should have just listened to my upline and jumped in and went for it. So please don't do what I did. Learn from my mistakes. Take my word for it. Jump in and go. Okay. I've done all the research and the stuff that you should have done. If you want any of the answers, go and check with your upline. They'll share the information with you that you need. You don't have to go and look for it and find it and waste that time. So when I say I made 4,000 Rand my first month, I'm talking about that first month when I actually worked, when I actually did something. Okay. So from the, and you want a story like that. If you're brand new, or if you're going to start these 10 people off with you, or these 20 people, you want each of them to have a story that they can carry with them through their entire Mannatech journey. That's such a powerful concept. So help them create a story. That's why you want to help people make money the first month or the first 3 months. Help them make some money. Okay. The value proposition we have here is we help people create more finance online. How beautiful is that? And we help people create wellness in their families. I mean, that's like what keeps 96% of people awake at night, right? I mean, you can literally use that as a prospecting tool. And you can say to people, listen, what keeps you awake at night? Is it your finances or is it your health? And then sit back and hear what they say. Because 96% of people lie awake at night thinking about those two things. You got a very good chance of striking a chord by asking somebody that, you know? Just an idea. So key activities. Let's look at the first month. You want to be, now, as you heard from Hake and Geraldine, you want to be putting this in front of new people on a daily basis. There's a sort of a mantra or sort of a saying that you can say to yourself every day: 2 a day brings freedom my way. 2 a day brings freedom my way. You got to wake up in the morning. You got to wake up at 3 a.m. and start like out of your dream state. Say 2 a day brings freedom my way. Because if you get the hang of this, if you actually put yourself in 2 new people, in front of 2 new people a day, you're going to bring freedom your way. 2 a day brings freedom my way. That's 10 exposures a week. What does an exposure look like? It doesn't have to be sitting down with somebody for 2 hours and talking to them. No, it can be as short as just 15 minutes, sharing some stories and handing out some information. That's what I did in lunchtime when I got started. I used to work a full-time job in Cape Town. The only time I had was lunchtime after work on the way back home. But in that time, I would fit in 2, 3, maybe 4 exposures a day if I could. I mean, how serious are you about this? It's not difficult to put this in front of 2 new people a day, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, half an hour there, and then follow up strong if you are able to plan your calendar well. Now, if you haven't learned that skill yet, obviously you need to get the hang of that. I mean, that's not a Mannatech thing. That is a life thing. You need to learn how to plan your calendar properly, right? But if you know how to plan your calendar properly, it should not be an issue for you to put this in front of 2 new people a day. When I say you're going to have to speak to large numbers of people, that is what I mean. 2 new people a day. That doesn't sound like a lot. I mean, if you have a sales job at a company and your job is to sell things, if you only see 2 new people a day, I think they'll fire you, you know? But yet in this business, if you see 2 new people a day, you are nailing it. You are bringing freedom your way. Okay, so that first month, you want to be doing, get it into your head with those 10 new people. You're going to be assisting them. They've got 150 names on their names list. You're going to be assisting them with 2 new exposures a day, each of them. And your goal is to help them reach Club 1000 that first month. You're going to use phone team sessions, phone team calls, this concept of sitting down with them and phoning with them so that they're not on their own with that, meeting together and making phone calls off that list with them, guiding them. They phone somebody, helping them not to stay on the phone too long, book the appointment, you know? So, and if you are not yet comfortable with that, then you need to stick with your upline now before the Success Summit happens and practice with your people you're inviting, that's where you're going to practice how to do this with your team, because you're going to be applying this with your team. How exciting. Your own people that are going to be with you at the Success Summit, and you're going to be doing these things with them. So now is the time to have fun and practice and do it over and over again until you get comfortable with it. It's like a language. Learning to speak a language, the best way to speak a language is just do it every day. Do it every day. Just throw yourself in there and speak it and do it every day. The best way to speak on stage, and you're so nervous in the beginning, is do it every day. Start with little meetings and expand it to bigger meetings. Any skill you want to learn how to do the thing, just do it every day. And before you know it, you're doing it. So phone teams, seeing new people every day. Your goal is Club 1000 and your goal is Team 2 as well. So that means ideally you want to have your own 1000 PPV and 2 people you've enrolled also on 1000 PPV. But Team 2 says you are over 500 PPV and you've helped 2 other people over 500 PPV. That's fine. That'll give you Team 2, because Club 1000 will give that new person 3,000 Rand in the bank. Team 2 will give them another 1,000 Rand in the bank. That's their first 4,000 Rand done, and they can do that the first month. Gonna have to focus, but with Luminovation, for instance, 1 good spa day, 5 Luminovation kits sold. I think that's basically a Club 1000 right there. You can go Club 1000 on one Saturday afternoon. You can go Club 1000 with 2 good home meetings. Think about it. It's not that difficult. Let's get this thing out of our heads that this business is a difficult thing. No, this business is wonderful. You choose your difficult. This seeing 2 new people a day, telling stories, helping people see hope again, and just doing a lot of it. Is that difficult? Hey, that's a small price for me to pay for freedom. Small price for me to pay to be able to spend the time with my family whenever I want. I can choose my own calendar. I can choose my own calendar because I was willing to do this stuff back then, 18 years ago. And let me just tell you again, the reason why we're successful today, and I can tell you the people on this call, the leaders on this call, they can tell you the same thing. Probably I can almost guarantee the same thing. The reason why they're successful today is not because of what they're doing today, but because of what they did in a 90-day period when they focused, a 90-day blitz, a 90-day of this type of action where you just, how many people must I see? All of them. Where are they? Let's just go for it. Let's see them. How many people can we fit in one day? Exposures, seeing people, helping people. And obviously it's like super activity, but you can do it because you're only doing it for 90 days and there's a whole new momentum coming. So the concept of 90 days, you can change your life. You can create a new millionaire in 90 days. Okay. But you're going to have to nail it and it's going to be a lot of fun. So there you go. Team 2, Club 1000. And new associate orientation 3 times per week. So obviously you need to be there for your team. So you want to be able to help them with associate orientations in the beginning. In the beginning, they're not going to be able to do it themselves. I suggest you create some Zoom meetings where you basically do something 2 or 3 times a week where you are doing the associate orientation and brand new people can come on board onto that associate orientation and follow along. Do number 1, pause. Let's do it quickly. Write down our goals and our dreams. Play. Number 2, do it quickly, play. Number 3, do it quickly, get hold of your starter book, blah, 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 and play. So it's like, do it, the social orientation. Okay, let's look at the next one here. Month 2. Now, also part of month 1 is phone team calls. So the phone team calls concept, the reason I put that in there was some guys are really getting good results with doing daily phone teams. So creating the resource where your new person can pitch up and phone with you. So you might do a Zoom call every night from 6 to 7 p.m., like just before supper time, or maybe you want to do like 5:30 to 6:30 or whenever it might be, So the idea is you come home from work, just have your cup of coffee or whatever, and hit the phone for an hour with your upline before you do supper. Because then your next 2 days are normally filled up with meetings, 2 meetings a day. Remember, you want to keep your calendar full. And phone teams are going to be great for that. So you might want to create that as a resource. Maybe you want to do it in the morning early, like 7 to 8, people on the way to work. They don't want to be in the traffic. Do your phone team session then. I remember when I got started 18 years ago, I had people from all over the country tie into my call. I had people doing phone teams with me from the loo in their jobs in the waterfront. They were doing I could hear the seagulls flying overhead. And sometimes I had to stand outside. Sometimes they were in the loo and they were doing like phone calls with me. And it was like, whatever, just Just do it. How exciting is that? I mean, is it worth it? Absolutely. You're creating freedom for yourself, but spend the time to keep your calendar full. Spend the hour a day of picking up the phone, making the phone calls to keep your calendar full. Okay. Because if you do that, that's the difficult work to create the easy month. You want to have an easy month, you have to do the difficult work proactively. You have to make the phone calls before lunchtime. You have to make the phone calls proactively. Fill up your calendar in advance. Don't wait for the day. You know what I mean? So once again, this is not Mannatech things, these are life things, but you're learning this as you go. It's part of this schooling. So you might want to think about this. The strategy is create phone teams where people can phone with you, create exposures, opportunities to create exposures on a daily basis if you can. Have a social orientations 3 times a week. So it just means that your team, remember your team means those 10 new people that are going to be blitzing with you, they have the opportunity to tie in to something all the time. You do not want them to be in a place where they don't know what to do next, where they don't have any support, where they feel the fear is becoming bigger than the opportunity because there's no assistance, there's no help. You don't want that to be happening. So make sure that you're available there and you can do phone calls with them and help them and guide them and help them through the fear, because it's fearful, which is unnecessary, because most of these things are things that people are scared of in the beginning, but then when they do it a few times, they realize, I don't even know why I was scared of that thing. It's actually a whole lot easier than I thought it was, So that's month 1. We're building the foundation in month 1. Let's look at month 2. Expanding your network. So now month 2 is you want to have at least 4,000 DPV with an income of 6,000 Rand plus. Okay. So this is going to be very, very exciting, because now you're showing more cash flow after month 2. And how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to carry on doing the same thing we did in month 1. You're going to carry on with your 2 exposures a day. You're going to carry on with your phone teams. You're going to carry on with your exposures on a daily basis, your orientations 3 times a week. But now what's going to happen is, if that person has done what they wanted to do in month 1, which is Club 1000 and Team 2, you are going to then be able to help them start their second leg, because they can do all of this in one leg. They can do all of this in one leg. Well, everything I explained on the previous month 1, I'll just show you on the month 1 again. They can do all of this in one leg. Once they've done this with your help and assistance, they've seen how the excitement happens. They've seen how to grow a leg. They've seen how it should look and how it can look. Now they're going to take that stuff, and with your help, they're going to apply it in leg number 2. And this is where it becomes very exciting. They're going to focus on second leg. They're going to apply what they saw in the month 1 strategy with you as the outline, and they're going to nail that second leg. So you ideally want to create your team 4 with at least one of them in the second leg, because your goal is achiever. And achiever is on lead team, it's 6 core people. If you don't know what achiever is, you can get back to your upline and they'll explain it in detail to you. But it is basically on lead team, you get a star above your head and some nice recognition on the app, because you are building your business with leadership, not just with points and volume, but with leadership. So, once again, there are many ways to build this business, as I stated in the beginning of the call. But if you want the freedom income, you have to build leadership into what you're doing. You have to spend a lot of time building people, not just moving products, but building people, because then you can really, the culture is strong. The reason why we could travel for 9 months around the world and our business grew while we were gone was because we built leadership into it. People going to meetings, improving themselves, building new teams without us being present. That's what I mean by build leadership in there, so that people know how to lead, even when you're not there with them. That's what I mean by build leadership into the whole thing. So ideally, they're building their team 4. At least one of the team 4, meaning at least one person they enrolled, has 500 PPV in the second leg by this point. So the goal then is 6,000 Rand plus for the month. What a great story, eh? If you do this correctly, you can say, hey, I made 10,000 Rand my first 2 months, and I'm still in training. I'm still just a ball of excitement. What a great story to be able to tell. Now, even if you make only half of that, it's still what a great story to tell. But if you're able to do this, fantastic, do it. So that's month 2, nailing it. So 4,000 DPV, that means that you're a gold director already. Okay, so you're nailing it. I mean, you have a nice group. It's coming from the fact that your group has a fantastic work ethic. Everybody's got the creed. 2 a day brings freedom my way. Let's go for it. Is it doable? Absolutely. It's so doable. Plan your calendar well. Put yourself in front of 2 new people every day. Okay, month 3. So in month 3, you want to cross the T's, dot the I's, get the job done. So look at this. The goal is at least 6,000 DPV in month 3, and you want to have 9,000 Rand income for the month for that new person. How exciting is that? Within 90 days, total of, what's that? Like 20,000 Rand they've made in 3 months in their part-time business online. What a beautiful story to be able to tell for the rest of their Mannatech career. Do you think people will be excited with something like that? I can guarantee you they're going to be fired up if they have that sort of story to tell. So there you go. Key points there is go executive director in the 3rd month. Now this is the important thing. In the February Success Summit, right, it still says Super Regionals on the slide there, but for the February Success Summit, you are going to then bring your own 10 people. So that new person that you've been helping through the 90 days to become a brand new millionaire, over the next at the next Success Summit in February, we're going to help them bring their own 10 new guests, 10 new people to launch with them. Remember, we're going to launch again in February. It's going to be a fantastic Success Summit then. And those people are going to launch their business there. How? They're going to do the same. They're going to duplicate what you did. They're going to copy what you did. We're going to tell them, hey, you want to have 10 new people start with you in March, 1st of March. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to use the Success Summit as your #1 prospecting tool. And you're going to have 20 guests in the room so that 10 people can get started with you and launch their businesses and have a story to tell about this online income stream that they're building within the first 90 days. So 10 people at the Super Regionals and Go Achiever. Go Achiever. Remember, Achiever is 6 core people on the lead team app, 4 in the one leg, 2 in the other leg, and 500 PPV of your own, 10 customers at least loaded on the app, and so on. So it's a few things that you have to check, but Achiever normally goes with executive director, more or less. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope that is something that you guys can chew on and get excited about, because basically it is a doable plan that I'm not just talking theory. This has worked for many people. It is working for people right now. There are people that are going to have this done, and they started on the 1st of September. And you, if you want to, you can take this and you can make it happen from the 1st of December over a 90-day period, create a string of brand new millionaires. So this is the game plan. Anybody can do this. It doesn't matter who you are. What do you do tonight? Tonight, if you're on this call and you are an associate, you need to first of all make sure that you've got your 150 names, your names list in place. You've got to make sure that you've got those beginning points in place, the pre-checklist. Make sure that's in place. And then start over the next month and sit with your upline on a phone call. Maybe you need to speak for half an hour long or an hour long with your upline and really get this down. But you need to know what to do over the next month before the Success Summit to have your 20 guests in the room so that you can have 10 people start with you, launching it into business. That's what you need to focus on. How are you going to do that? Well, discuss that with your upline. You're going to have to talk to a bunch of people, invite a bunch of people, but it is such a beautiful invite. Luminovation, Success Summit, how to become a millionaire in 90 days. Those are the things we're going to be discussing. It is going to be very exciting. All right. So that's it for this call this evening. I really want you guys not to think about it too much. I really want you just to go and take it and be practical about this. You could do this. Anybody on this call can do it. It is a part-time doable plan. It's not even a full-time plan. It's a part-time plan. Anybody can do this. This will take you 10 to 15 hours a week of implementation to do. And if you're willing to do that, if you're able to plan your calendar properly, you'll be able to do what I've just shown you as a game plan. Wow, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the Success Summit. I'll see all of you there, and let's go for it. Let's go make people's dreams come true. So thanks again to Heike and Geraldine for speaking so eloquently, and to all the leaders on this call for bringing your teams onto this call in order for all of us to improve our lives and chase our dreams and build that freedom income and that freedom lifestyle that's out there. It's waiting for you. You just got to decide tonight to do something about it. And a progression, a series of good financial decisions and career decisions and business decisions and obviously network marketing decisions, Mannatech decisions. And I'm telling you, the next few years of your life, the next 18 months are going to look absolutely incredible. All right. Have a great evening, you guys, and good night.